I never understood how to make money from commodities until last month. I spent 15 years researching company and half-value companies to make money from the stock market, but I completely ignored commodities. Then I found an investment system that is so simple even a child could apply it, and it works so well that for the first time in over 2 decades of investing, I'm considering putting a part of my portfolio into copper, silver, gold, lumber, cocoa, coffee, and so on. What is the system? In this video, I will show you exactly how it works, along with some past example of when the signal was triggered. But first, 2 small disclaimers. Number 1, this is not financial advice. Do I look like a financial advisor to you? Maybe I look like a pirate. I'm a pirate traveling in Pai, Thailand. Number 2, commodities are not my field of expertise. I just found out this method that works so extremely well. I thought, okay, everybody wants money, so let me share it with my subscribers, even if I'm on holiday. Change of setting today, electricity doesn't work, aircon doesn't work, so I had to open everything to have some air. The core principle behind this investing strategy, it's so simple, everybody can apply it. So I'm going to assume that exactly like me, you have no idea about how copper, silver, sugar, coffee will trade in the next 6 months. I do not have any specific knowledge or insider information about these markets, so I have no idea. But do you know who has a massive knowledge and all the insider information about these markets? The producers, the miners, and the processors of the raw materials. They have all the insider information because they are the insider. So the strategy is very simple. We just look at what they are doing. Do you agree that a coffee producer has way more information about the coffee market than you and me? For example, I'm sure they know exactly how much it costs to produce 1 kilo of coffee in Brazil, and they're not going to sell under their cost of production, whatever that might be. The core strategy is really that simple. We just copy the producers and the miners of each commodity. But if you are like me, the first question that comes in your mind is, okay, but how can we possibly be sure of what the producers are doing? And we have to interrupt because they are cutting the grass. Let's try again. I eat a mango in the meanwhile. Now it's a little bit far, so I hope there is not so much noise. Let's try. If you trade commodities, probably you already know this, but I didn't until some weeks ago. Since 2000, every Tuesday, the Commodity Future Trading Commissions shares weekly reports called Commitments of Traders to help the public understand the market dynamics. Basically, in these reports right here, you can see the producer open interest for futures and options of several commodities. It's a lot of numbers and it's way too complex to read it, in my opinion. So honestly, I would have not understood how powerful this report is just by looking at the raw data. I figured it out thanks to this tab right here on Forecaster, the COT Report. Let me show you how powerful this is. We click here, we get a list of commodities. Let's just take the first one, for example, cocoa. Now, to understand this data, let's go in the mind of a cocoa producer. We need to harvest the cocoa pods from the cacao tree, extract the cocoa beans, ferment them to give them some chocolate flavor. Then they must dry, be clean and selected, divided into bags and transported around, since there is no way all these steps happen right next to the cacao tree. This entire process costs money and requires time. So for the sake of this example, let's say it costs $10 a bag and it takes 1 month. As producers, there is only one thing we absolutely want to avoid at this point. We don't want that 1 month from now, when the cocoa would be ready to be sold, the market price would be below $10. Otherwise, we would lose money. But this is exactly why the future market exists. As producer, we check the next month's future now, let's say the price is $15, so we sell it now and we lock in a $5 profit and avoid the risk connected to market volatility. This is why when we look at the COT chart for the producer category, we expect them to be sellers, not buyers. The more the producers are selling, the lower this line drops, meaning the producers are very happy to sell here when the prices are high because they are making a lot of profits. On the other hand, very rarely, instead of selling, we find moments where the producers are actually buying. Why would they do that? Well, probably because they have massive contracts to fulfill, they must fulfill them, but the price of the commodity has been so low that it's probably cheaper for them to buy it in the open market than to produce it themselves. To me, these are screaming buying opportunities that in fact do not happen very often. As we can see with forecaster, for cocoa it happened in 2010, 12, 17, briefly during 2022, right before a massive price explosion, and now it's happening again. So I'm not telling you to drop everything and run to buy cocoa, but definitely keep an eye on this indicator. Look carefully every single time the producer starts buying instead of selling, we are very, very close to market lows. Consider that you can see all this data for free at cftc.gov, but you would have to elaborate the raw data yourself. With Forecaster and the coupon ADRI, it's $80 a quarter and it's way cleaner to visualize it, and you have all the historical data that can be very useful. So click the link below and give it a try. Let's go back and check another commodity, coffee. The producers were buying only 3 times in 16 years. Here in 2015, here in 2018 and 2019, and finally here in 2023. Look at how perfectly the producers are timing the market. Here they're selling like crazy and a market high is formed. Coffee goes down, not so many want to sell anymore. Price goes back up, everybody wants to sell and lock in the profits. The price goes down, they even want to buy. You can check any commodity, it just works. It's a basic indicator, but since the underlying principle is clearly true, this might be the easiest way to profit from all these markets. Let's take corn. I don't know anything about corn, but in June 2020, right before this crazy bull run, corn producers were buying. Then in 2022, right at the top, producers were selling like never before. A coincidence? I don't think so. Again, if you don't want to spend, I understand you can get these reports for free at the CFTC website. But for $250 a year, I'm telling you, it's worth to pay for Caster. At least I highly recommend you make 1 month try. Check cotton, sugar, silver and gold. Then if you don't like it, you don't need it, you cancel it. But please use the code ADRI so you get a 10% discount and you help me out because I get a small commission that I will use to make more video and produce better quality. I hope this simple system will help you make a lot of money. If instead you prefer to keep investing just in stock, check out this video. I will show you my complete portfolio in just 5 minutes. Please like, share, let me know in the comments which commodity you think is the best buy right now. Thank you for watching. Peace out.